All right. Well, Senator Tom Wright, it is so good to welcome you to the Boys and Girls Clubs of Volusia Flagler counties, a place that holds you in such high regard because of your long history with the organization. I've been on only about 8 months, and I've heard some of the wonderful things that you've done for the organization, particularly from the club staff that was here over the years. But just getting to meet you over the last few months, I can tell you, I know that your heart is for this community and particularly for our young people and their future. So, on behalf of our board, members who are here present for your tour today and senatorial visit, please accept our deepest gratitude for all that you continue to do, not just represent, all that you continue to do for the young people in our community. I'm so grateful that we get a chance to also show you the second iteration of what's happening at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Volusia Flagler counties, because our hope is not just to make you proud, but to make you realize that the investment that you made years ago and that you continue to see the fruits of that labor and the investment so other partners can come aboard to join us in positioning our kids for better future focused opportunities, get them off the streets and get them with real skills that could help them not just go to college, but also become successful entrepreneurs as an example of what you've been in our community, sir. So thank you.
Oh, you're sure welcome. It's an honor to be able to meet these kids, and
Mhm.
I've had the opportunity over the last few years to meet a lot of them at the different locations. Sometimes we'll even do a pizza lunch, and I'll bring the lunch in,
Yes.
and they're just a joy to be around. So I think in the world that we live in today, I mentioned to the ladies that we saw earlier, the grandmas that you called them,
Yes. Yes.
grandmothers, that our children today aren't in most cases presented with the same opportunities I was as a young person.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
grew up in a family where my mother stayed at home and my father went out and worked. And
Yeah.
today's families, half of the families are single parents.
Yes.
And that makes it really difficult for them to share enough time that they need to teach their values,
Sure.
their morals, right and wrong, their Christian beliefs.
Mm-hmm.
And so without a place like Boys and Girls Clubs, the peer pressure becomes so great that these young boys and girls are easily swayed into bad things.
Yes.
And I've been very involved with our own sheriff's office here. I was very instrumental in us doing our own juvenile assessment center,
Yes.
which they call the Family Resource Center.
Yes.
And within the first year, we actually served 2,900 juveniles that were
Mm-hmm.
in trouble.
Yeah.
And that's sad
Mm-hmm.
that we had to do that. But I'm glad we were able to do
For
that to
sure.
help them to see there's a better way in this world.
Absolutely.
And over time, not only were we bringing young boys and girls in that got into trouble, we actually had some parents bringing their own child
Mm-hmm.
who was just couldn't handle. And so we have the assets and we have the different agencies there
Yeah.
to try and help get them on the right path.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that with Boys and Girls Clubs, they'll never go there
That's
because
right.
you're getting them on the right path and
That's
helping
right.
them to stay focused on a good, solid future of becoming, you know, good citizens, a good part
Yes.
of our community.
Sure.
And without what you do here, who knows where they would end
Who
up?
knows? Yeah.
And we don't want to think about that because that's bad.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're at the Spring Hill campus, and we have 8 campuses around Volusia Flagler, and you know most of those clubs, but this one in particular, just based on location, this is a wonderful community, but it's also a hard pressed community because just down the street from here, right across by the park, where our kids go to play, plagued with folks who you heard Dr. Davina Jones say today lost hope, and so we're doing all we can to ensure that our kids not only have a safe place but a place to acquire the skills that's necessary so they can build a better future for themselves and a career path and opportunity that's yet unknown because the job market is changing so drastically, and we're trying to ensure that we produce kids that are creating opportunities for themselves at the speed at which technology is moving. And the other thing I'd say is I love the fact that you mentioned the other nonprofits that you support, because I met with a group of nonprofit executives recently, since I am not new to the area, this is home, but new to the space in the movement. And I shared with them that, we've talked and that there are opportunities to partner at a deeper level because we are truly not here to compete, for opportunities or relevance. We're here to collaborate for results. And the sooner we learn that, the better it is because they're not duplicated services. What they do at Family Renew or YMCA is not what we do here. And so, but each of us plays a role in contributing to the trajectory and the redirection of a young kid's life for positive growth and impact. And so I want to thank you for that because you understand all too well the power of collaboration when it comes on to service organizations in the youth space.
Well, I'm happy to do that. I sometimes tease some of these organizations, say we never get any money, and I say, well, that's because you didn't ask.
Right, right.
And that's
Yeah.
a true story.
Yes,
A lot
yeah.
of the, we have 16 cities here in Volusia County,
Mm-hmm.
and since I became senator 7 years ago, and I bring them a big check from the state,
Yeah.
they all say, well, we never got a check before. I said, because you never
Never
asked
asked.
before.
Right.
So it's a matter of letting
Mhm.
us know what the need is, and
Absolutely.
then we can try to advocate for those funds.
Sure.
Sometimes we get them, sometimes we don't.
Sure.
Sometimes the request is big and they get half, but
Mm-hmm.
it's better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So those are things that we
Absolutely.
need to do.
To ensure.
When our Commissioner of Agriculture, Wilton
Mhm.
Simpson, was the president of the Senate,
Yeah.
he brought 5 million to the Boys and Girls Club,
Mm-hmm.
shared throughout the state.
Shared throughout all organizations, not to Volusia Flagler only. So we
Yeah.
split it up. Really, that's
Yeah.
the need, right? We have to share
Pace
that.
Center for
Sure.
Girls, the same thing, and I think possibly AMI Kids.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have an AMI Kids here right now
Right, right.
because there was only 8 to 9
Mm-hmm.
youths that were in there.
There.
It was too expensive for that few.
Sure.
So I don't know if we let people know about these organizations well
Mhm.
enough. I think you're doing a great job spreading the good word about Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah.
That's what it takes.
Yeah.
So often when I say, have you ever heard of our Family Resource Center? People will be like, no.
No. Yes.
So it's because even as a senator, we think we do a lot of good things, in the Senate chambers and pass a lot of good bills and work hard and advocate for our district
Yeah.
to bring money back.
Mhm.
But the one thing we're terrible at is marketing.
Yeah.
So I have people come up to me and say, Senator Wright, you should maybe consider trying to do a law that would do this or that. And I say, well, we did that 4 years ago.
Right.
I never knew that. We had somebody just last night in Brevard advocating for open carry.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not a big advocate of open carry. I'll let you know that. But anyway, that went
They
into
completely passed. That law
September
passed already.
25th.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you'd like to
Yeah.
go, but so people
Informed.
don't know.
People don't know. When I met with these group of nonprofit leaders, executives from all across the Volusia County space, it was clear to me many of them didn't know each other in the room. We're all CEOs or executive directors, and so it was an opportunity to share what we do and then identify the intersection for collaboration. And it is a matter of the storytelling. How do we share our message, and how do we share that we each are running in a race, even though we're doing different legs in this marathon and it's a relay? But how do more people know what we do if we don't even know some of the shared services? We're fortunate to have been the lead agency for Volusia County in youth development for the last 15 years. And we have a grant on the table now for renewal. But part of that's why I have this focus on collaboration, because I know we can't do this by ourselves. No man or woman is an island. We cannot take this rate. We only serve 2,000 kids. We have over 60,000 more that are in need. So we've got to collaborate with other agencies, in addition to growing and expanding the work of the Boys and Girls Clubs. But one of the outgrowth of that conversation was, how do we create this kind of center or innovation hub where all of us share space, collaborate together, and generate revenue to be able to support our organization? So to answer your question, well, you're not going to be around me and I not have an ask, Senator. You already know that.
Yes.
So I have multiple asks, but it's not just a selfish ask for the Boys and Girls Club or the Boys and Girls Club through the Alliance for all 36 of our organizations, but it's also for the nonprofit in terms of an alliance that should be formed here to help more of our kids get off the street. So
I hope
yeah.
that happens for you. Sometimes
Yeah.
even in the position that I'm in, we have people come to meet us in the state capitol, for example, and they'll be from another state, and they
Yeah.
maybe want to bring a business to our state
Mm-hmm.
for the many good reasons that we have. And so we find out later that they only talk to us.
Wow.
And if we don't think to share it with like Volusia,
Mm-hmm.
um,
It doesn't happen.
It doesn't
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
So even in that front, I sometimes think we're all trying to do our thing, but we
Yeah.
forget to share it with other partners and say,
Yes.
hey, you can help out here, and you
Yes.
should know about this, um, because how many of them actually come here? We
Absolutely.
say, what happened to the 8 out of 10? They
Hmm.
never came here.
My goodness.
Well, because we didn't share it,
Didn't
probably.
share it. Yeah.
And
We get further. If you want to go far,
yeah,
you've got to go together.
look at
Yeah.
services like Halifax Urban Ministries. I was on their
Hmm.
board for 12 years.
Hmm.
And when we were in COVID, we were doing 65,000 bags of groceries.
Oh my goodness.
Believe me, I know how to pack groceries.
Yes.
We were helping
65,000
pack.
bags. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
And every bag was exactly the same.
Oh my goodness.
Eggs on the bottom, milk on the top.
Oh, look at
I'm kidding.
that.
But it was, it's important. So the things that they do can sometimes provide something for other areas, like with the women's shelter here. We have a
Absolutely.
50-bed women's shelter,
Hmm.
and it was in such disrepair that there were 12 women living there only because the
Jeez.
rooms were unusable.
My
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
So that's a whole nother issue, trying to get that back up on its feet.
Yeah.
But so we had facilities at Halifax Urban Ministries
Yeah.
temporarily converted so that when there was a woman in need, it's
Hmm.
generally females that come. We did have some males.
Yeah.
There's a place to take them
Hmm.
while they figure out. It's a sad thing. I always, it's not funny, but I tease every woman that ever came to our women's shelter
Hmm.
came with the very same luggage. They all
Wow.
have the same luggage,
A plastic bag?
white hefty bag.
Yeah.
That breaks my heart.
Hmm.
They grab what they can with
Yeah.
sometimes their little ones,
Hmm.
sometimes their pet,
Hmm.
because they're all threatened,
Yeah.
and they show up,
Hmm.
and they're in desperate need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I started a group home my years ago, the plastic bag is a painted memory in my mind when we would pick up children that were earmarked for our care because they just had what they had, very few, and so it's so much work to do, Senator,
Yeah.
and
It
it
is.
really does take all of us. I know that we invited you here today for a senatorial visit, an official one, and to share some of our programming and expose you to the kids and the young people and those who have been around, the board members who make this happen. How are you feeling now that you spent some time with us today? How are you
Well,
feeling?
I always
Some
feel,
reflection on this visit.
well, I'm glad that you asked. I always feel so much better after I get to see the children
Yeah,
and see them smiling and healthy
yeah,
and, interacting with each other.
yeah,
I think that's, I worry about some of the families that just do homeschooling.
yeah.
I'm not sure that their children are going to get those social
Engagement.
engagements that probably are important to all of us as we get older. Um, but I'm blown away, I guess is the way to say it, all the good work that's already happened here on this property.
Yeah.
And it looks like things are coming along
Yes,
that
sir.
have been in kind of like hold mode for too darn long,
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
it's beautiful.
Thank you,
And
sir.
the kids seem to be happy and they're healthy. And, your staff seems to be upbeat.
Yeah.
Sometimes we find different places where they're all down, doom and gloom,
Yes.
punching the clock.
So true.
It's like, so you're building them up also.
Mhm.
You're making the right inroads in intersections with your staff
Yeah.
to help them feel revived, that
Mhm.
they're on the right path,
Yeah.
that there's going to be good results.
Mhm.
And those are all important to your people. Most of my employees in my companies have been with me over 20 years.
That's it.
And, make them feel
Mhm.
like a greater part of your family, to
Yeah.
know who they are.
It's mission centered work, and when it's mission centered work, it's far from punching a clock. You don't feel misused or abused. You grow as much as you give, but you also gain.
Yes.
No employee here, I've shared with the staff here that as much as you share with our students, we should be pouring into you. So if you have not acquired any new skills in the 7 months, 8 months that I've been here, I'm doing something wrong. So when you see folks like Dr. Davina Jones, who hits the road from Tampa out of retirement to help with operations and to help, with this mission, it matters to me. I am humbled by it. Our national CEO paid a visit last week, and I said to him, we get an opportunity to serve. I don't take it for granted.
Mhm.
Regardless of the experiences I've had over my life,
Yep.
we get an opportunity to do this work because God could have chosen somebody else. So I am grateful that you've invested your time over
Yeah.
all these decades to this work, not just for Volusia Flagler either. I might add, because the Florida Alliance has Lonnie's here with us today, and she represents the Alliance. And I know the kind of support you've given to bills over the years for the entire Florida Alliance that supports all of our organizations throughout Florida. So thank you on behalf of the other CEOs for that work. And we look forward to sharing proof
Yeah.
of concept and proof in the data for the impact that we're having on our kids. So thank you.
Thank you, dear.
I'm
Thanks
most
for having me.
appreciative.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Blessings.
Thank you.